Because I thought it was batik. Yeah.
And welcome back to DayBreak once again, and we have a special guest this morning.
Today she's also wearing batik.
Yes,
very nice, and
it.
skirt pants. Yeah, it's more of like a modern kind of style.
That's true.
I mean, it's classic, but you know, in a modern kind of.
I like that in a modern kind of way, right?
Yeah, I mean, we live in this era right now. But yours is pretty.
I know. I look very handsome in this, right?
Yes,
I know
you
she
do.
keep on saying that.
All right, now some people might actually experience harassment throughout their life, whether at work or on the streets or even at home.
Yeah.
And they don't know how to counter, and even some of them are not aware of it.
Yes, but this type of harassment continues to occur across the archipelago. To talk more about this issue, joining us here, Angie from iHollaback, Indonesia.
Hello.
Hi, Angie. How are you this morning?
I'm fine. Thank
you look very nice once again with the batik. Loving the orange combination, you know.
Well, the thing with wearing, you know, batik and wearing something covered in Indonesia, I think, you know, it's not only it looks elegant and nice, but it's also pretty safe, you know. Because for today's topic, we're going to be talking about, you know, a bit more the sexual harassment, and in your case is street sexual harassment.
Street harassment.
Street harassment. But before that, let's get into sexual harassment in general. Now, what really is the definition of sexual harassment?
Well, we are more focused at iHollaback on street harassment, but I think that sexual harassment is any type of unwanted comment or advance of a sexual nature.
Is that more into verbal or physical?
Yeah.
Both. It can be anything from an unwanted comment, a lewd stare, to groping, things of that nature, and it happens in different places. So, basically. Street harassment is sexual harassment that takes place in public places, public spaces.
Could you give an example, for example? So what is street harassment, such as?
Walking down the street and a man whistling at a woman. Or walking down the street and say, like, hey baby, how's it going? Or, oh, it can be something that
make you feel uncomfortable, basically.
It makes you feel uncomfortable. So it's a comment or an action that is. It's basically a power move at its root to make the target of it feel uncomfortable and to kind of put them in their place.
So that is a sexual, street harassment.
Yes.
And that happens a lot in Indonesia?
It actually happens a lot around the world. So it is a fascinating subject in that matter that we have all of these different diverse countries and places around the world with different overall cultures and traditions, but you find this problem of street harassment happening around the world.
But what made you want to start, or you know, this movement of iHollaback Jakarta?
Well, I'm really active. I used to like to ride my bicycle to work a lot. I've taken public transportation. I used to take the train every day, sometimes the bus. I like to walk on the streets, and I was quite used to getting comments often. It's easy to kind of just like shut down, tune it out, maybe put in earphones. But then one day, last January, I was riding my bicycle to work, and a man pulled up on a motorcycle next to me. I was riding a regular bicycle, and he grabbed my breast. And I was just like, I was shocked. I didn't know what to do. I screamed after him after the shock wore off, but he was on a motorcycle and he was gone. And so I felt violated. I felt helpless. I felt angry, sad. I felt humiliated. Thinking, what did I do? What was I wearing? Like, what's going on? So I started sharing my story with friends just on like WhatsApp. I was like, hey guys, I was riding my bike in Gandaria this morning and this happened. Like, watch out. And then I was so surprised at the amount of people. Oh yeah, that's happened to me. That's happened to my friend. Oh, I know someone that happened to. And it was coming from people of all different ages, different origins, and so I realized, like, wow, this is happening a lot here. And I had remembered hearing about iHollaback a while ago. So I looked online. I went to the iHollaback website. I saw that people were sharing stories, and they have like a take action section. So different things you can do. Share your story. You can take a pledge to be a better bystander. And then one of the options was don't see a iHollaback in your city. Start one. And so I looked on the map, and there wasn't one for Jakarta yet. And so I just filled out the form, not really knowing exactly what it all entailed, but a good 8 months later, online training, annual planning, learning about the movement and how to get it off the ground, and actually running the website. We officially launched Hollaback Jakarta.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
And this just started in January, right? You mentioned this incident happened in January.
With the applying to start the site, I got a couple of friends together, and we've been working hard to get Hollaback Jakarta moving.
Good. But street, why did you choose a street harassment though?
So Hollaback Jakarta, Hollaback World started in 2005. A group of New York friends, there was a high-profile case about street harassment. A man had publicly masturbated in front of a woman on the subway, and she took out her phone and she took a picture. And she went to the police station, and they were like, that's really awful, but there's really nothing we can do. And so this ended up making the front page of the newspapers, and it got a lot of conversation going, including with this group of friends. And they decided to kind of first just start a blog where people could share stories about street harassment, because like, as I experienced, they realized that people are experiencing this every single day, multiple times.
Okay, and talking about, for example, when we talk about street harassment, you know, there's so many kind of ways, like you know, you question yourself, is it because the things that I wear, or you know, what did I do? Is it because the way I walk? What's affecting these people to do
what are the main factors that will actually cause this to happen?
Well, street harassment is interesting because it's quite unpredictable. It's and it takes many different forms. But the thing that we want to focus on, and it is never the target or the victim's fault. It shouldn't matter what the person is wearing. It shouldn't matter anything about their identity. But because people are so affected by street harassment, mostly women and other minority groups, it takes a toll on your mind, the way you think before I go out. Should I wear this? Is it safe for me to go that way? So basically what we are trying to do with Hollaback is to first give people an empowered response to street harassment by being able to share their story. And second of all, to raise awareness about street harassment, what it is, and that it's not okay, so that we can ultimately end it. Because, and worldwide, not just Jakarta, must be something else there in the overall culture that allows this to keep happening. I mean, think about if you've ever walked down the street and maybe children shout at you. Those children obviously don't have any sort of ill intention with street harassment in mind, but if no one tells them it's not okay, and then growing up they continue to do that, and they see other people doing that and they mimic it, then the culture perpetuates. So we want people to talk about it more and to say, hey, that's not okay, stop.
You know, there are people who are unaware of street harassment, basically. They feel, some people in fact feel that, you know, catcalling, hi baby, or you know, you look nice today, is a compliment, and they get flattered. Well, what do you have to make out that?
For that, everyone is entitled to feel the way that they want to feel. So if a woman feels good about that, then that is her prerogative.
But that is not street harassment. Is it still street harassment, you would say?
The interesting thing with street harassment is it's defined by the person who's experiencing it. So for example, like when you told him he looked nice in his batik, it was a friendly compliment. There's a difference between like, you look nice and you look nice. Do you know what I mean? So it's all about the dynamic between the two people, the interaction. And if there's discomfort that's being made to happen, then that is street harassment, period.
And what kind of courses, say for example, what kind of things that you share with other people these days? You said you give courses, probably. Did you mention about that?
Oh, I had to join a course to start Hollaback Jakarta. So Hollaback has trained over 500 local leaders in 80 cities and over 20 countries around the world. So if you go to iHollaback.org, you can see a map with Hollaback sites around the world. And so now Jakarta is on that map.
Yay, Jakarta. Good. Now Angie, we're going to go for a short break. And when we come back, we're going to continue talking about sexual harassment or street harassment, yeah?
Yes.